Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today for you guys is another movie review. Yes, I know we are currently in Star Wars month, however, I saw this movie today and I really enjoyed it, so I want to tell you guys about it. And yeah, I know, like I said, we're in Star Wars month. It's going to continue like normal, just we're going to again have one of those random days where I have a third video, which is going to be a non-Star Wars related thing, just so I don't wait too long and then no one cares about the movie or anything. So, anyway, you read the title. Today we're tackling Knives Out, which is the latest Rian Johnson writing/directing film that he did. Of course, this is kind of a weird genre to put this in, because I don't really know what to call it. Is it a whodunit? Is it a murder mystery? Is it a drama? Is it a comedy? You know, everyone's labeling it different things. It is not a comedy, I don't think. There are some funny moments in there, which we'll get to in a minute, but I will say that it is definitely under the lines of a murder mystery, a drama, and a whodunit. So, you know the game Clue, or the game, whatever, where the classic thing where you have all the people in the room, and there's someone that's dead, and they need to get to the bottom of it, and then, of course, there's a twist, right? That is this movie, but it goes in certain, and again, this is really hard to talk about without spoiling it, and I'm not going to spoil it, because it really is something you should experience for yourselves, and, like any good Marvel or Star Wars or DC film, if you do get spoiled beforehand, you're going to be pretty butthurt. So, if you have gotten spoiled, I'm sorry, but please, do. It's kind of hard to say this. If you have not gotten spoiled, I'm trying to think. If you have not gotten spoiled, do not look online, because everything in this movie pretty friggin' great. So, again, this is by writer and director Rian Johnson, who of course made the Brick film. Not Lego Brick, but Brick, Looper, and of course my favorite Star Wars film, which I'll get to later down this month, which is Star Wars month, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, the first thing that I was, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, Last Jedi, Rian Johnson, he wrote and directed that, and it was amazing. And he wrote and directed this movie as well, and it's going to be great, And of course, it is great. However, again, I don't want to, it's hard to talk about without spoiling it, but essentially it is a murder mystery where this old guy called Harlan, he is found dead, and of course, everyone in the house is a suspect. Of course, there's a lot of things that happen. Of course, there's a big twist in the end of who actually did it. Again, no spoilers here. However, I kind of walked into it going, okay, it's just going to be, the movie of, the family in a house talking, and that's all it's going to be, right? That's it. And it goes a lot further than that. There's a lot of things where it focuses on a group of people and then just a few people. Essentially, the two big stars are, of course, Michael Shannon, who's one of the suspects, of course, Chris Evans, who is one of the suspects, and then we also have a girl called Marta, which I don't know who plays her. I don't believe she's in anything else. If she is, she did a great job. Everyone in this movie did a great job, essentially. And, of course, we have Daniel Craig, who is the big, Inspector Gadget type guy in this film. Each character has their own name, and of course, it's not that crucial, so I didn't really care to memorize the names as I would for Star Wars or Marvel, because they're not important past this film. But when you're watching the movie, it does give you a good reason to know the characters and to pay attention to the characters and care for the characters. Now, regarding Rian Johnson and what he did, is this a good murder mystery whodunit movie? Yes. I don't read those murder mystery books. I'm not a huge fan of this genre. But, of course, Rian Johnson did it, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see it, right? And I actually really enjoyed it. Of course, there are a few things that can be confusing, because there's a lot of people and a lot of thread lines to, kind of follow, and a lot of plot holes and all that stuff. Well, not plot holes, but plot lines. And, it really does go, 0 to 10, like, really friggin' quick. There's a lot of scenes, different people have different opinions on what happened on a certain night or a certain day, or, depending on the person, they have their own story. And, of course, all this stuff kind of comes together in the end for a really nice reveal of who actually did it. But regarding that, again, going to the writing side of things, I don't know why people think that Rian Johnson is a bad writer. I think that The Last Jedi is actually the best of the Star Wars movies for the writing, and again, I'll get to that when I review the films. But that's just me. I think that Rian Johnson is an excellent writer, and it definitely proves in Knives Out as well. Of course, writing and directing is no small task, no small feat. And of course, he did a great job, man. I just freaking love it. It's like, the Hageman brothers, they write for the Ninjago, well, they used to write before they wussed out, for the Ninjago TV show. Ninjago, for no one who knows, is my favorite show of all time, and it has some of the best writing I've ever seen in a film, or in a TV show, of all time. And of course, like I said, they wussed out, whatever. But going forward with that, they also wrote, the Hageman brothers wrote for the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark film, which, if If you have not seen that review, check it out. It's on my channel. I love that movie, and hopefully I'll get it on Blu-ray for Christmas. But the whole thing is that, you know, good writers from something we've never really heard of, or they don't, like, you know, no one knows who the Hageman brothers are. Now they do. No one cared about Rian Johnson. Now they do, right? Good or bad, depending on who you ask. However, I do think, like I said, the writing in this movie is top-notch, and it makes you laugh sometimes. It makes you get emotional sometimes. I didn't, but, you know, it can for some people, I guess. And, of course, the, you know, a lot of the twists, a lot of the reason why you care for these characters is because of the writing, and it's so well done. There's so many things that are going on, and so many different accounts that you have to take into place. You know, this person said they were there in the attic, and then this person said, no, they're in the basement. And that's not in the film. I'm just, you know, saying as an example. But there are a lot of things in there that are like that. And, of course, the directing is great, too. The movie opens with a shot of these two dogs running toward the camera with a house, of course, the mansion that... The house really is like the star. You know how everyone says that Grand Theft Auto, the open world, the city, is the main character? That's kind of the same case here. Because if you look at the poster for Knives Out, the main character really is Marta. And you don't know who that is from the freaking poster, because she's in, like, the bottom back, you know, or the back left somewhere. And, of course, Daniel Craig is in it a lot, you know, because he's a big guy, a big, you know, big top billing name guy. And, of course, Chris Evans is the same thing because he played Captain America. But it's funny to see, you know, Chris Evans played the Human Torch in the two Fantastic Four movies a long time ago. And, of course, he was very serious, very cocky and funny, and, you know, just like Johnny Storm would be. And then, of course, Captain America is the complete polar opposite of the Human Torch. And now Chris Evans is regurgitating himself, quite literally, back to, you know, playing that fool of a Took character. And, of course, there is, like I said, the writing does, it's not a super serious movie. The writing does lend itself to some pretty humorous moments. It's not a comedy. So if they say it's comedy, it's not. It is not laugh out loud funny every 2 seconds. However, there are some funny moments in there, and I just thought it was, you know, pretty funny at times. I think all the humor landed for me. You know, you're not going to be busting a gut laughing, but, you know, you will be kind of smirking or chuckling here and there. Of course, like I said, there really isn't much CGI, and if there was, I couldn't notice because it was great. Like I said, I don't think there was any. But the acting, like I said, great across the board. Writing, great across the board. The directing was amazing. Certain shots are handled a different way depending on who you're asking. There's a lot of visual imagery, much like The Last Jedi, which I really do enjoy. Again, you cannot take Last Jedi and Knives Out at face value. And just like Joker and a bunch of movies. There's a lot of thinking involved, especially with a movie with this, you know, this kind of renegade. So anyway, I'm going to give Knives Out an A+. I really do enjoy it. Again, nothing too bad to say about it. Sorry if you guys hear that. I'm kind of have to wrap this up. But I love this movie, man. It is so freaking good, and I really, really hope that you guys can enjoy it too. And again, no spoilers in the comments. This is a movie you really want to see for yourself. Again, I love this movie. I'm going to give it an A+. There is nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's fine. I respect yours, but in my opinion, I loved it very, very much. And yeah, it's easily one of the best movies of 2019. And I really do. That takes a lot, you know. I love Lego Movie 2 and Avengers Endgame, but man, Knives Out is something that's really special, and I hope you guys can see it for yourselves on the big screen. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.